1. I used to work at a dog rescue in the Midwest before moving home to the East Coast. It was a small rescue, about 10 employees max, and we were all tight-knit. Nobody there resembled me. I am exceptionally short and have different hair than anyone else there, so it wasn't easy to mistake someone else for me or vice versa. This place was also haunted. We all heard a female voice yelling at us or singing near us when we were completely alone. Almost everyone saw apparitions or reflections when nobody was there. So this place was already full of some weird energy to begin with. Then, it got weirder. During my last couple of months, co-workers started sending me odd texts. They would text me on my days off, asking why I was there and where I had just disappeared to. I would always reply that I wasn't there. While I was there, occasionally someone would jump at the sight of me and say something like, "What the hell, you were just outside, I saw you through the window," or "I just saw you in the storage room, how did you get here so fast?" They couldn't understand how I'd gotten from point A to point B impossibly fast. Every time I would be baffled and explain that I wasn't where they thought I was before. A good example that I remember well was this one. I was in the backyard. The only door in there goes through the main adoption room, then exits on another end, about 50 feet away into a hallway containing a kitchen and some private meeting rooms. I walked in from outside and saw my co-worker coming into the room from the hallway. She looked at me and gasped, then opened the door behind her to the hallway. She explained that she had just seen me in the kitchen doing dishes. But when she opened the door, which lay about 6 feet beyond the kitchen door, there I was, coming in from outside. It was actually impossible. This is when we started to understand that something very strange was going on. We all sat around and talked about it, and it turned out almost everyone was seeing a phantom version of me. Every time they saw it, it was turned around and didn't interact with them. It would go into some strange places too. For example, someone watched me go into the closet holding the water tank and followed me asking some questions about work matters. As soon as they turned into the closet, I was gone. I hadn't walked into that closet at all around that time, let alone that day. My best guess is that I was in the middle of making a major life decision about either staying in this city at this job and taking a promotion, or coming back home to the East Coast. The decision was extremely stressful for me to make, as I really loved that job. I'm surmising that my energy literally just split somehow, and that a version of me was hanging around there while I endured so much angst over staying or leaving. If I want to get super weird about it, I could say that maybe in another reality I decided to stay there, and maybe those two timelines were intersecting and glitching onto one another. They continued to see me after I moved home, thousands of miles away. 2. This is going to sound like a load of crock shit, but I swear up and down that this actually happened. About 4 years ago, I lived in this fairly small flyspeck of a town. At the time, I had lived there for about 12 years, so I knew my way around. Our house was about 1.5 miles away from the nearest neighborhood. Our mom intentionally picked that house due to the lack of neighbors. It was tucked away on a back road, with woods surrounding it. Every now and again, I liked to take walks with my little brother, who at the time was about 13. We decided to do just that. We headed up the road and decided to try to find a new path or a new clearing that we hadn't discovered yet, when we noticed something a little shocking. Just off the road that led almost directly to the neighborhood, there was a brand new paved road. Every road in that part of town was a gravel road, so seeing an out-of-place paved road was pretty unusual. We stared at it for a while and came to the conclusion that it must have been made within the last few days, due to the modern but slow growth of the town. However, we had no explanation for how they did it so fast. We decided to explore it a bit I remember as soon as we set foot on the road, the air became notably colder, by at least 5 degrees. The road itself was a black pavement, but no dividing lines. It was surrounded by some thick red trees that resembled redwoods, but they were too short and non-native to our state, southern Arkansas. We walked on the road for about 3 miles until we decided to head back due to it getting dark. When we got off the road, we felt the temperature go back up. My brother and I agreed to explore it the next day. At roughly noon the following day, we set back out to explore this place, only to discover that the entire road was now missing. When I say missing, I mean the trees that were cleared to make it had apparently grown back, with no sign of the redwood-like trees. We even began to explore the woods once more, but only find no sign that it ever existed. When we asked our parents about it, they said they knew nothing about any new road work being done near us. Has anyone ever experienced anything like this? 3. I'm going to start this out by saying I'm not much of a writer. I am a 28-year-old female, and the story started back in October 2014. With detailed dreams I shared with one of my friends, she insisted that I start writing them down in detail. The layout of the room, the bed, etc., and she read them later. Fast forward to March 2015. I started seriously dating my boyfriend, who swore we'd met before, and I would travel 2 hours to see him as he would me. One of these trips I stayed the whole weekend at his house, which I've never been in before. He had to work Saturday for a few hours, so I passed the time by FaceTiming with my friend. When I walked into the bedroom, she went completely silent for a minute, and then told me, "That's one of the rooms from your dreams. The vaulted ceiling, the colors on the wall, everything, even the leather headboard and footboard." At this point I laughed at her, and didn't believe her because, honestly, I had forgotten about my dreams. As soon as I returned home Sunday night, I pulled out my journal and described his bedroom, and even him down to the tattoo on his chest. I called up my boyfriend, and at first he thought I was crazy, but then he explained to me that he couldn't place where he had seen me before, but it had to have been a dream. I'm still with this man a year later, and we're still experiencing a lot of deja vu glitch moments at least once weekly. All I can really say is sometimes it's freaky. 4. Now this happened when I was around 16 years old. I was a fairly normal kid, spent a bit too much time on the computer though, so I made a lot of friends with both nerdy kids and popular kids. It all starts when I met this nerdy kid who I'll call Gavin for the sake of the story. Gavin and I started becoming decent friends because of our interest in World of Warcraft. Gavin was a really socially awkward guy in real life, although he's a cool dude to talk to online. He's also a genius, who has an IQ of around 180 as far as I remember. I did the same test he did in school, and I got 103, so it's the real deal. Gavin and I came to each other's houses a lot after we became good friends. We would chill, play WoW, watch videos on YouTube, play chess. He was a pretty cool guy, and soon enough, he was one of my best friends. One day I decided to come over to his house uninvited. Might be a dick move, but I was a teenager at the time, and I just thought we were really good friends, so it was cool. So I knocked on his door, and this older-looking guy opened, around 40. He had a little bit of grey hair and a beard. Now at first I assumed this was Gavin's dad because they look eerily similar, but then I remembered that Gavin doesn't have a dad, and then assumed he was a relative. I asked him if Gavin was home. He laughed and told me that he's Gavin. I found this a bit weird, but it could be a coincidence. Or Gavin was simply named by his uncle. I told him that I'm looking for a 16-year-old Gavin, described him to the guy, and he started looking uneasy. After some hesitation, he said Gavin was not home. I asked him when he was going to get home. Didn't really go into questioning who he was, and he gave me a time after thinking for a few seconds. So then I came over at the given time, and my friend, 16-year-old Gavin, opened the door. I told him that his relative was there. He told me that he has no relative with the same name as him. And he also told me that he was home at the time I came and had met the 40-year-old. We both found this extremely weird, and our only explanation is time travel. I still keep in touch with Gavin, who happens to be studying quantum mechanics at the time. We still haven't told anyone this story. 5. I guess to start this very true, very weird story, I am 25 years old, female, and my name is Bailey. At the time I was 17 and still in high school. It was morning and I heard my mom yelling at me from the bottom of the stairs to wake up and get ready for school. I'm not a morning person, not now or ever. I groaned and rolled my eyes as I woke up. I could see the sun filling my room as I laid in bed. Attached to my room upstairs was a bathroom that also connected to my brother's room, making the bathroom in the middle, connecting the two rooms. I remember not wanting to get up. I just wanted to keep sleeping, but didn't. I threw the covers off me, got up, walked across my room to the stairs, which was also in the middle, connecting my and my brother's room. I remember looking out my door, past the stairs, and into my brother's room. All of this detail is relevant, I promise. I went downstairs into the kitchen, half asleep still. I glared at my mom for making me get up, and she laughed, saying, "Good morning, sunshine," all chipper and purposely trying to be annoying as I was still tired as fuck. I ate breakfast, cereal, put my bowl in the sink, grabbed a towel, and went to take a shower. I remember being in the shower, washing my hair, brushing my teeth, which my mom hates because I always left the toothpaste in the shower, which for some reason drove her crazy. I used the loofah to scrub my body, rinsed and got out. I was aware of the time and approximately 30 to 40 minutes had passed since I had gotten up. I rolled my eyes because I knew I wasn't even almost done getting ready. I'm a girl, what do you want? I still had to do my makeup and hair and get dressed. I have a routine. I never get dressed before I get ready, so I was in a black t-shirt that day. Again, I'm only saying this because the detail is important. I had done my makeup first, as always. I took the towel off my hair to part, blow dry, and straighten my hair. This entire process of makeup and hair, not including the 30 to 40 minutes it took me to get up, eat, and shower, had taken around an hour and a half. It was annoying to me because I remember rolling my eyes and saying in my head, being a girl fucking blows sometimes. I just want to be fucking done getting ready already. Back then I didn't care if I was late for school, as I wouldn't be going until I was done getting ready. I never liked school, I wasn't good at it. I mostly went for friends and boys, etc. Which I later was diagnosed with severe ADHD, but not until about 23. But I am now on meds and am able to do and focus on a lot more. Anyways, back to the story. I was finally done with hair and makeup. I picked out my outfit for the day. A long sleeve shirt and jeans, typical cute fall weather outfit. Put it on and went back downstairs. I passed the kitchen into my living room and headed toward the front door. I opened it, took one step outside, turned my head to yell goodbye to my mom, and closed the door. The very second I heard the door close behind me, I snapped awake. I was back in my bed upstairs. I had never gotten ready or eaten breakfast. I had never gotten out of bed. And everything I had just experienced, the same amount of dragging time it took to get ready, just like every other morning, had never even happened. I still don't know what it was. It was way too real to be a dream, and I was extremely angry to realize that none of it had happened. It was like I had to get up again and do the whole long, time-consuming process all over for the second time in the morning. Hey everyone, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to my latest Glitch in the Matrix video. I know it's a little bit shorter this week, but you've got to take what you can get with these things, and this is what I could get this week, so a little bit shorter. I'll try and do better next time. Well, I'm a bit confused, a bit angry and confused, I guess you could say. Got a new monitor today. Right, so that was good. New monitor, needed it, considering the old one smelled like it was about to blow up. It was kind of a burning smell coming from it. And it looks like I might have to send this bloody thing back already. Nice monitor, nice looking monitor, good screen on it. So I was quite happy with it at first, and I've had it only a few hours. And it's doing this kind of thing where it's blinking. It's like blinking to black, and then going back to normal, and it seems to be random as to why it's doing it. So that's annoying. I played about with the settings, and well, it's not really important, I guess. It's just ticking me off is what it's doing. Anyway, now that I've got that off my chest, I will say goodbye for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.